Davey.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Guess what? The sun's been out in Shetland all day.
The sun's been out in Dundee all weekend.
All week, well, yeah, but all day is pretty cool for us, so believe me.
That is an improvement, to be fair. That is an improvement.
Yeah. How's things?
Yes, I'm... what?
Have you had a busy weekend?
I have had a relatively busy weekend. I was at the Scottish Championships in Dumbarton yesterday.
Whoa. There we go.
Having a wee listen.
Nice to see Derek Owen and Ali Meek and Co. and Malcolm McNabb there.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your day out?
I did enjoy my day out. It was a long day out. There you go. Sam Young's in Paisley.
Hi Sam, how you doing? I noticed Sam was there and I noticed he was judging the Grade 1 final as well.
He was. I wonder what he thought of the arena the Grade 1 was in this year. It's a bit different to previous years.
What was different about it?
So, when was the last time you were at Dumbarton?
About 10 years ago or something.
Right, so do you know how you used to go up the hill to the plateau to play?
Can't mind going up a hill.
Right, so you used to go up that hill, we ramp up to a plateau that had nothing round it, so you got right open to the elements. But they put the fun fair up there instead this year and put the band down the bottom end.
All right, okay.
Big difference because I had a tree coverage on the Clyde. So I thought it was a lot better from a... Okay. Sam says, it's very small. So the Grade 1s were on the bowling green.
Right.
Which was covered three sides by hedges.
All right, okay.
So, yeah. So, yeah, but it was good. It was a good day out.
A little bit different.
Can you catch up with...
I'm really looking forward to this tonight. So, since you've been at the Scottish Championship yesterday, and we've got a kind of pipe-orientated show tonight as well, because we've got a great guest on tonight. We've got Derek Marr on. Derek told me earlier that he thinks you know him better than he knows himself. So
Derek's not very good at writing things to kind of promote himself or his business, so I usually have to do it for him.
Well, we can help with that tonight, eh?
I bet we can. Bet we can.
Ladies and gentlemen out there, please share the show about if you are. It would be, hello there, Katie, how are you doing? And please share the show. I'm sure, especially if you've got any pipe band enthusiasts out there or solo pipers or pipers in general, they're going to enjoy this show tonight.
The one thing about this show which is different to any previous show is Derek has agreed to answer bagpipe related questions. If you've got any questions about pipes or about your pipes or any kind of information you want to find out, send it in and we'll ask Derek later on in the show for his expert advice.
That sounds... We can't do better than that, can we?
Speaking of expert advice, Peter.
Aye.
The winners of Grade 1 yesterday were the world-renowned Field Marshal Montgomery Pipe Band.
It certainly were.
And we're going to hear their winning MSR in a second.
Sounded very, very nice.
It did.
It was
all of Grade 1 sounded very, very nice yesterday, to be fair.
Big wall of sound. I heard the Police Federation at one point as well. Somebody did a video on it and they sounded good too. Mm-hmm. But it's very tight up there nowadays, isn't it? It is very tight going. It can Right, so we're hearing their MSR. Can you remember what their MSR was?
No, but I think it'll either come up or I'm sure Sam will tell us. So here we go. Field Marshal's MSR from yesterday. Here we go.
Right.
There we go.
Aye, that's how you do it. Eh?
So that was the Braes of Bednich as the march.
Can I just
Blair
say that?
Drum.
Really nice to see a march that's quite new. Well, a different march, because quite often...
Not Highland Wedding, you mean?
Yeah. Well, it became so much, didn't it? Lord Alexander Kennedy and Highland Wedding and all that, and it just got battered to bits. And
yeah,
it's really nice. There's so many hundreds of 2/4 pipe marches out there in space and reels.
And there is a few in the Argyle's book that's coming up.
Good Argyle's book. Well done.
Yeah.
Well pointed out. Well pointed out.
So yeah, that was the Braes of Bednich. Blair Drummond is Spey, and the reel is Pretty Marion.
Really musical performance there, by the way. Smashing.
Very much so.
The march and the reel
Yep.
were really swinging there, actually. The pointing and the phrasing and the notes was almost like an accordion player would play it.
Yes.
I don't mean that badly, but that's really musical to be able to do that.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a great day all round yesterday. The weather was bizarre yesterday because when I arrived at 9:30 in the morning, it was overcast and cloudy, and by the time the band started kind of rolling, the sun was splitting. There was no rain. It was just a really nice day. Really nice day. I think I got a bit of a sunburn actually in the face.
So did Chris Armstrong have to get his tinfoil out?
He did yesterday. They had the tinfoil out, and that managed to get them a 5th place.
Yeah, we're going to have a tune written about the tinfoil or something.
I think Chris should write it himself.
Yeah. Cooking your pipes, Sunday roast pipes or something. But excellent. We'll think of something. But that was a
roast in the bag.
Really nice performance to hear that. And of course, one of our previous guests playing, Matt Wilson, playing in Field Marshal.
He's Pipe Sergeant.
Pipe Sergeant.
Yeah.
And also in charge of Dollar Academy, who had a very successful day yesterday as well.
He did.
I think they cleaned the board.
They got Juvenile, Novice A.
Yeah.
Yeah, Juvenile, Novice A. Yeah.
Done great. Anyway.
Kenneth Mackenzie's here. Here we go.
Hi, Kenny. Let's get to Zoom.
Our guest tonight is a very good friend of mine. Very good friend of mine. So I am rather biased. He was also my best man at my wedding, but that's a different story. And I don't think Ali Meek will appreciate us bringing that story up again because it's been over a year now. You know?
Is that COVID job?
Yeah. So what people forget is that I'm quite good at research on guests. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have this.
You can dig the dirty boy.
So we're going to have this video. I think it's a good 10 plus years ago, I think, and then we'll bring Derek on and talk a bit. So here is an old video of Derek playing.
Okay. Fantastic.
That's certainly an old video. That's I don't think I had any grey hairs at that point.
No, you've grown a beard as well since then.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Good, yourself?
Oh, not too bad at all.
Did you have a good day out yesterday too?
It was a great day. Like Davey was saying, it was by the time I got there anyway, the sun was out and it was enjoyable. It's good to see pipe bands back on the field again and back enjoying it. It's been a while since I've played as well.
I know the feeling. Davey's lumped me through Lorne to do this wee piping gig tomorrow night. I've done my pipes with my case for months. And so if anybody's got a spare pair of lips out there that they could send me for tomorrow night, that would be fantastic.
What time's the last ferry?
When? Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll get them here somehow, believe me.
So, Derek.
Yes.
Oh, see the way he said that so seriously there. Right then, Derek, here we go.
So why do you want the position in the company? Sorry, that's different sheet. Sorry. Tell us a bit about how you started off in the kind of with piping in general, not just playing, but the making and refurbs.
Well, I like you know as well, I never actually wanted to play the bagpipes, but I got dragged along to competitions for pretty much the day I was born with my dad playing. And from the age of 6, I still remember that my wee granny Elma took me into Edinburgh, and I seen a bagpipe maker, and I just for that age, that's what I want to do, is want to make bagpipes. But then I kind of realised that playing obviously goes hand in hand and helps knowing the instrument as well. It can certainly help if you know how to play them.
Well,
So I think I pestered most pipe makers in the area as soon as I left school about trying to get an apprenticeship, and I eventually got one with Pettigrew bagpipes. At the time, Stevie Young was the owner there, and it's progressed from there, really, I suppose.
You know, it's really interesting you said about not wanting to play the pipes. We've had quite a few guests on that are pipers that have said that wasn't their first choice at all. I mean, including Robert Matheson. Robert Matheson told us he wanted to be a drummer.
Right.
Didn't want to play the pipes. He got hold along to Kilkenny. And they said, I want to learn the drums. And they said, we've got no space for drums. Do you want to try the chanter? And he was like, oh. And he ended up with a chanter.
It's worked out quite well for him, though, eh?
He's done all right. He's done not bad. But it's quite interesting.
That was back in the day. My dad was taught Kilkenny as well by old Johnny Barnes.
All right.
About the same time as Robert, actually.
Yeah. And then Davy Barnes took over that. Was that Johnny's son? Is that right?
Yes. I played in Kilkenny when Davy was pipe major. It was Stevie Young was my pipe major in Kilkenny at the time, and then Davy Barnes took over from there.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Great band. I really enjoyed Kilkenny band.
So when you also started making pipes and started with Pettigrew's, and then you went on to kind of other manufacturers working for them. But you then started off on your own up in Dunkeld in a company that we won't mention because it no longer exists. But that's where you met a really well-known piper from the area, Mr. Ross Ainsley.
Yes. Ross came on board and started using our pipes as well. At that time, I think he had just released his first book. That would have been back about then, 2010 to 2011. So Ross still plays a set of Marr bagpipes. He's really happy with them, happy with the steadiness and the sound that he gets from them. And we all know that Ross can play a tune or two as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually going to jump to a video here of Ross playing. This is from a series of videos that he put out last year with basically it was called Mars in Concert. And as Big Rab Lennox mentioned, it should have been the concert for Mars.
Yeah.
But
it was an enjoyable thing to do. So there was a few different high-profile players, guys that are on the folk scene all playing Marr pipes. So it was enjoyable.
Yeah, it's good.
So here is Ross Ainsley's Irish set, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a bit about your recent pipe band. Here we go.
Yeah, fantastic playing for us there.
He's not too bad.
I'm a bit vexed, actually. That was the set I was going to play tomorrow night, and he's gone right me to it.
Yeah, you still could. No, we've not got that many viewers on Shetland.
No, absolutely fantastic. Sounding great. Derek, can I just take you back very, very quickly? Just one thing we overskipped in the last bit there. You said you went to. Who did you say you went to for the apprenticeship? It was
Pettigrew Bagpipes.
Pettigrew Bagpipes. Was that Jimmy Pettigrew?
No, well, that would have originally been Jimmy Pettigrew. Then it was his son after that, Kenny, and then obviously Stevie Young had the business after that.
So for all our viewers all over the world, bagpipe and apprenticeship making, how long does that take?
Well, usually back then, certainly I was a 3-year apprenticeship, learning the basics to start with, right through to obviously a finished instrument. So it kind of depends on the person as well, on how quick you can pick up a skill and manage to produce a set of bagpipes.
Right, because obviously that must have changed very much over the hundreds of years that folk have been making pipes. Because nowadays there's machinery available, etc., that wasn't available.
100%. But if you look at some of the old vintage sets as well, they knew how to make a set of bagpipes. You'd be very surprised how 100-year-old set of bagpipes you can put on a lathe to refurbish, and they're still running true as the day they were made.
That's amazing, isn't it?
So, although they maybe never had the machinery we've got nowadays, but they could still make a set of bagpipes.
Yeah, because I was doing playing in Orkney through the week there at an accordion club thing, and we were looking at Kirkwall Cathedral. Andy Kane went and was saying, we're looking at look what they built in 1100, and you thought, how do they do this? You know, and it's the same kind of idea thing, isn't it? And so, does anybody still make pipes that way then, right from scratch, without using tools like machinery?
There's still some makers out there that I'll do everything by hand, but that's a kind of dying art in itself. Most makers nowadays use some form of copy lathe or some sort of tooling to help along with the manufacturing process.
Because it must take so long if you're doing it just purely by hand as well.
Well, there's that as well. It's okay for smaller businesses like myself. You can do the bits by hand and get away with that. You've not got high overheads or anything. But when you start looking at a business sense, you need to try and keep stuff going through the line.
Yeah. No, fantastic.
As was mentioned by a comment from, 2 seconds to find it again, Marcus Sinclair, you have recently joined forces with Ali Hutton and created the MH Reed. Yes.
So that's a newer product along here, which we're getting great feedback with, and orders are coming in with them. We're actually doing a thing at Piping Live, promoting MH Reeds, which will be Ali Levac, Ross Ainsley and Ali Hutton playing on the Tuesday at the Street Cafe at 2 p.m.
Well,
so yeah, that's just another thing there that we're doing here, and it's going well.
So the MH Reed then, what's the character of it compared to character to other reeds, would you say?
So it's a ridge cut reed, all made with the finest Spanish cane as well. Just a well balanced reed, top to bottom. Suits most pipe chanters as well.
Right.
Unlike, let's be honest, most products nowadays from most businesses, everyone's got such a high standard of reed manufacturing and bagpipe manufacturing. There's you just don't get bad products anymore. All the guys out there that are manufacturing are doing great jobs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's quite amazing. It's quite amazing because you do wonder how, as you say, everyone's at such a high standard now, and then when something new comes out, you've got to be up there with it, haven't you? Because there's no point.
Definitely. There's just so many products out there for piping nowadays. I mean, before you had a skin bag, seasoning, cane drone reeds, and pipe chanter reed. Yeah. Now you've got so many products out there. So if you want to try and stand out, you need to try and make something that stands out from everybody else's.
I always look back at thinking when I was a boy and learning how many of us actually did persevere and kept going when we were given our first McAllister reed, It's a wonder we didn't just go and jump off a cliff somewhere, you know.
try to blow one of them in for a month and then realise that wasn't the greatest pick and you had to go do it again.
It was like 2-bedroom doors strapped together or something. Yeah, it was just like incredible. Yeah, that's yours. All right.
What I have noticed, Derek, is on your website, for the reads, 2 seconds, you do them in batches of 4.
Yes.
Well, obviously, a lot of makers out there will do it in you can buy single reads and all that sort of stuff. But it says here, orders in batches of 4 include a complimentary humidity case as standard.
Yes,
tell us a bit about
that. Although we do them in batches of 4, it just saves down on postage and stuff like that as well. But although it's 4, you're still getting that free humidity tin, which tries to help keep the reeds themselves at a constant humidity rather than the reed drying out, so it's almost straight into the chanter and you can start playing it.
Wow. So how does a humidity tin work then?
Well, it's got a humidifier in it, which keeps that a constant humidity in there. You know, you get the chanter caps now that have got a similar thing. They've got humidifiers in them, so after you finish playing, you can pop them on.
Gone are the old days of sucking the tappy reeds and all that kind of stuff then.
Yep, pretty much. Oh, there's Davey got one of the tins there.
There we go. Well done, David. That's a great idea. Yeah. Because I remember we had Donald McPhee on one time as well, and Donald was saying you should hardly have to touch a reed when you go to put them in. Hopefully that's what you're aiming for. You know,
Yep.
Yeah. But David, you're muted.
The one key thing is with these reeds, they're not just for solo playing; they are for pipe bands.
Mm-hmm.
And we've actually started introducing them to the band recently. Obviously, the start of the season, since the start of the season, we've changed chanters. That's at Denny and Johnny Bass. We've since changed chanters and started introducing new reeds into the band as well.
That's the way to buy reeds then for a band, isn't it? Buy 40 at a time and you get 10 tins.
That's it.
Each band member gets a set of reeds to work with.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But as we mentioned, the Scottish Championships were yesterday, and Denny and Dunnapace were competing in Grade 3A. And they got a prize, didn't they, Derek?
Yes, we're in the top 6. It's always nice to be in the top 6. But I think, like Peter was saying earlier, all the standards, all the grades, right from novice juvenile right up to Grade 1, is just phenomenal. And I don't think it matters what grade you compete in. It's very competitive. And there's very good bands out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the old days, you used to get this kind of top end bands, and there was this middle brigade that was always in about the middle, and then there was bands at the bottom that just turned up once every 5 years or something like that for a tune. But you don't get that nowadays. Everybody's there with a purpose. Everybody's there going for it. You know, it's just.
Yeah, it's not. It's more than a hobby nowadays. It's a lifestyle choice, and
So we've got your MSR from yesterday. Would you like to tell us the tunes? Can you remember them?
No.
Lord Alexander Kennedy?
After me slagging it earlier on.
I know. I'm not too sure what the Shaspe is. And Lochcarn's the real. I'm useless with tune names.
Right. Well, have a listen and we'll check it in the back. Here we go. Here's the MSR from yesterday. go.
Sweet. Good. That was a really nice ensemble there, guys.
Well,
Yep,
funny you
we
should mention funny you should mention ensemble, Peter. They came third in ensemble, only being beat by Deeside Cali and Johnston, but they came second in drumming as well.
Yep, the drumming certainly doing pretty well. The drumming.
I really like the drum sound. Actually, the snare drum sound is really, really nice there. It's, I know it's Stevie Sinclair that I know. Orkney, he's playing with Deeside Caledonia. They won the drum, and I think you're going to just.
They did, yeah. They've got a good going band just now as well.
So,
like I said, it's actually a very competitive grade. It's good.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want a bit of competition. You don't want to just go out and be guaranteed a prize.
No, and I always watch my old band Colburn IOR. They're still in that grade too, so they're still.
They are, yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen the latest Champion of Champions table for Grade 3A.
No, I haven't.
Denny are top drum corps.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, they're certainly doing good. They're working away hard there, the guys, and they've got a good
No,
going.
And that's without the Scottish results.
Good.
So they're even better then.
That's pretty good.
Colburn are second, but.
Yeah. Well. Do you know something? The Denny's an absolute institution, though. They've been such an important part of pipe band life for years, decades.
Well, I just joined Denny in December there. I decided I wanted to be back out playing. The last time I was out competing was 2015, I think it was, and a good friend, Gordon Stafford, plays with Denny, and he was my pipe major in Torfickan and Bathgate years ago, and also my pipe sergeant in Polkemmet. So that's kind of what made me go along there.
Torfickan were a good band as well. They were always a big band and kept going.
Yep.
Chris Armstrong came out of Torfickan as well. He played with Torfickan, didn't he?
A lot of good players in general came out of West Lothian.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. David's got a question coming here. I can see him thinking.
No, I'm just looking at the next video. So that this, as you heard there, that's playing MH Reeds in Warnock Chanters. They are the only band playing MH Reeds at the moment because obviously you're busy making reeds for them and for the market.
Well, and it's a fairly new reed that we just brought out in the market as well. So,
but I'm absolutely sure you'd be quite happy to make them for other bands if they came along and had an interest. I'm sure.
Oh, 100%, yes.
Yeah.
But the website obviously says bagpipe refurbs.
Yeah.
Yes. That's kind of what you went back to. Once you moved down from Dunkeld down to Livingston again, to the homeland. You started working on refurbishment of bagpipes,
yes.
Because as Peter says, you've got to have the skill to make something look as good as it did back on day one.
Right. That has to be hard, yeah. And
if anyone's interested of looking at some of the kind of before and after photos that Derek does, head over to his Facebook page. Mm-hmm. Some of it, you look at the pipes going, how are they 100 years old? They look like they've just come out of the factory or off the lathe. So
the great thing about refurbishments is you don't get you've got different problems with every set that come in, or every job is different. Although you're doing the same thing, everything is different. You're working on different makers, models, years. It's just there's something so satisfying about bringing an old set of bagpipes that you think maybe not worth fixing up, bring them back to life and creating them, letting them play again.
Yeah. Well, I've got a very good pal that's a fiddle maker and violin maker, and for Fairhill, and he's in Shetland now, and it's the same thing. He can get an old instrument in that looks like it's had it, and then all of a sudden it turns out to be a pretty classy instrument, when it's refurbed,
Yeah. And certainly a lot of job satisfaction there.
Yeah.
Couple of questions. Katie in Carnoustie has asked, what are you more passionate about, making or playing pipes?
That's definitely making.
Well,
I do enjoy playing pipes. I've started enjoying it a lot more. like I say, we'd be back out competing. I'm getting back into playing again, and I'm starting to really enjoy playing again. But certainly the passion for making and refurbishing is tops that.
Yeah, it's a shorter turnaround for the result, isn't it? Really, because you're
Is
talking.
there anything ever come in the workshop that you've just had to say to somebody, nah?
It's only happened once.
Right.
Is this the time I'm thinking of?
Oh, I'm not too sure. There was a full library set that came in, and I think they might have been a homemade sort of set.
Wow.
I don't think it was from any of the big manufacturers or big names, and everything was running so far off that I just couldn't do anything with it.
Right.
No, there was another set.
Oh, was there?
Yes, that was the set that we reclaimed the ivory off of it.
Oh, that's right. The wood was gone on them, and they were horrendous.
That's a really interesting point. A really interesting point then for anybody out there that has got an old set of pipes that maybe thinks they are past it. There, as Derek saying, there's only two, and all your bays come in that you've not been able to do anything with. So maybe, folks, you've got a set of pipes sitting in that cupboard that could be just like a gem again if you got them into Derek.
That's the thing. If we've had people get in touch saying, "Look, we have got this old set. I don't think there's anything that can be done with them, but could you have a look anyway?" And most majority of the time, there's certainly something that can be done with them.
Fantastic. Because I'm looking at getting mine. David was speaking to me about mine. They just haven't had anything done to them for a long time, but it's because it's so interesting, and you wish you knew the stories they could tell. And my Henderson's the old set, they're ivory, but I remember going to Ghana about 15 years ago to teach for 2 or 3 weeks, and took my pipes with me to play to the kids, never thinking that I had to get the ivory back out the country. But the little guy at customs was very good. He looked at it and he went, "That elephant died a very long time ago."
Well, the ivory on pipes, that's getting much more of a problem now with the ivory on pipes. It's almost not worth travelling with them.
Because I've heard the Canadian boys and that saying that as well. They're really tough going and getting stuff back and forward, isn't it?
Yeah. It's certainly become more of a problem now.
Yeah.
In your prior to doing the pipe making full time, you trained as a CNC operator, didn't you?
I did, yes. Nothing to do with piping, but yeah, I was a CNC operator on a couple of different pick place machines that was a technology company.
Right.
And you brought that skill into the Bagpipe Refurb Co. recently. Well, it was last year and a half. Yeah. Because you do all your own engraving in-house as well.
Well, we do the in-house engraving, yes. So they're done on CNC machines. So you write the program for them. You pretty much put the bit on, select what you're wanting, select your offsets, and then let it go from there. Also, our pipe bags are done on a CNC cutting table. So everything is the exact same when it comes out. All the collars are in the exact same place. You couldn't get it any more precise.
Wow.
Because that's the one thing.
When you guys are talking about engraving here, are you talking about like silver, nickel, whatever?
Nickel and brass. We do all the engraving on the nickel and brass in here.
Yeah.
Now, funny you should mention that, Pierre. This next video is Derek playing a set of Marr bagpipes. This is a silver set, and he's playing a set of 6/8. But interspersed within the video is some engraving and some turning of a practice chatter. So let's have a listen. We watch this. Here we go.
Brilliant. Really good. Magic.
That
Really
that
nice
was me
little-
just trying to get back into the piping again.
That's great. Hope I can play for as long as that tomorrow night. That's- no, really, really great. It's but
Ali
really,
Ali
really
meets going for a hiding.
nice. But it's really nice for our viewers at home and that to be able to see a bit of pipe making going on there with the engraving and the carving, etc. And it's quite interesting watching you working with the lathes and all that. There's a lot of equipment there, Derek. There's a lot of expensive equipment involved in setting up this business, I think, is there?
It's certainly over the last couple of years, literally most of the turnover has been going straight back into the business to buy new tooling and machinery. So yeah, I mean there is quite a bit here. There's a couple of different lathes. We've got the two engraving machines, and obviously with the pipe bag stuff on top of that now as well. It does build up.
Mm-hmm. You've got to mind and make a bit of profit so you can eat fish suppers and things as well, though. It's important.
No, that's it. Maybe no fish suppers. I need to watch the figure.
Derek's more of a kebab man.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the pipe bags.
Yes.
And you've not only got the pipe bags that are the synthetic pipe bags, you've also got the hybrid pipe bag.
Yeah, so with the hybrid one, it's more of a combination of collars and zips, but with a traditional hide, so it's still got a welt on it, which helps give the curb and sound. So it is kind of a best of both worlds, along with the synthetic and real hide.
Because it's amazing, isn't it? Remember when synthetic came out, everybody went, boom, this is it. And everybody wheeked out to synthetic, thinking this was amazing. And then all of a sudden you saw the big bands first, probably, I think, creeping back in, and it was hide bags that started coming back in sheepskins and things. And then I think quite a lot of bands are back to that now again, aren't they? So
I think a lot of bands are going back to skin bags and more the hybrid bag as well.
Well, the hybrid sounds a really good idea. That sounds a really good idea.
We're currently working on a few other things as well, along with pipe bags. Generally, most pipe bags you can only get one standard size collar. So we're working on different size collars for 3/4 pipes, half size pipes, so they don't need to be tied in. So you get different options of different size collars for small pipes with bigger collars, so the collar stock can be pushed right in.
And is it just Highland pipes you make, Derek, or do you make small pipes on that as well? Or?
We just do Highland pipes. We do our Marr wee pipes, which is more for having a tune on. I wouldn't class them as small pipes as such. They do have 2 drones for tuning and your chanter, but we don't manufacture small pipes.
Yeah.
Now, let's have a listen to the wee pipes.
That'd be good. Yeah. fab. I love the sound of that. That's fantastic. What
So as you
keys?
can hear, just a nice wee instrument to play on. It's nicer than sitting in the house playing the aim, learning tunes than a practice chanter.
So what key is that on then? Still kind of standard B flatish?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they come with a tunable chanter as well, so you can lengthen the chanter itself, making it a bit sharper or flatter.
Okay. So could you take that to an A? Could you drop it enough to get it down to an A? Or?
Oh, I've not tried.
No.
But there's a possibility.
Yeah. Well, because I love the sound of that, and I think it's. I was never very good at small pipes with bellows for some reason.
I've tried bellows and I'm completely useless at them. I held my breath actually and I almost passed out. I was concentrating too much and held my breath.
That's exactly what I done as well. I nearly died. And it's really weird as well because you can play the accordion with lots of bellows going, but not when it came to bellows with bagpipes. It didn't make sense somehow.
No, I gave up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That tune that is playing, that is one of your own.
Yes. You're talking about tune names again here, and I think
Molly's.
Yeah. So that was written after my daughter. It's called Molly's Bebosh. A bebosh is actually a brioche. She just couldn't pronounce it, so she always called it a bebosh.
And you've been lucky enough to have your tunes published in a couple of publications.
Yes, the most recent one being the Turaku collection.
Oh yeah.
There's 3 tunes in that. There's some of your stuff in there as well, Davey.
No, there is. Yeah.
Is that the one the Turf Pipe Band? The Turf Pipe Band? Bring that one out. Yeah.
It is, yeah. The pipe major Andrew Gray was the brainchild of that. Andrew Gray, if anyone doesn't know who Andrew Gray is, if you look at Turf Pipe Band, you don't need to figure out which one the pipe major is. He's the tall one. Because he's like, he make you look short, Peter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's quite a tall
one. Make me look like a Lego figure.
The Hobbit.
It was mine big Ronnie Laurie. Mine Ronnie was in charge of Polkemet at one point in time as well, wasn't he? Was Ronnie no pipe major in Polkemet, or was it the police?
It was the police.
He was a great big man as well. Remember, he was like, I mean, you really wouldn't have wanted to make a mistake and a medley when Ronnie was. That was. You
wouldn't want to meet him if he was on a shift either.
No, not at all.
Ali can't type fast enough to insult you.
Oh, that's fine.
But the one thing is that the Marr brand has went worldwide. You have reeds in Brittany and France for sale. You have reeds shipping worldwide. You've also got pipes in stock, correct me if I'm wrong, in New York State?
I believe so, yeah. With Piper's
Cave.
Cove.
Cove.
I was right.
Cove.
Thank you. Yeah, they've got a couple of the zoomorphic sets over there. One of which Brian May was playing some tunes on the zoomorphic set.
Oh man, it was the Piper's Cave. Was that not a pub in Lanark?
Probably was.
Somewhere. I'm sure there's a Piper's Cave somewhere.
Brian May, not the guitarist in Queen, but
no,
right.
I thought there we go. That would be a bit of publicity.
So when Derek asked Brian if he'd play on the for the online concert, he was over the moon, and I think he gets the award for the best location, doesn't he, Derek?
It's certainly a nice view. It was better view than mine's in the workshop, and I would have quite happily have went over to his location to stand and play rather than here.
So let's have a listen to some marches from Brian on a set of the zoomorphic Marr pipes, and let's just take a look at that view.
Cool. Smashing. Is that Dundee?
No, that's Edinburgh.
Oh, I
That's
thought it was
that's North Queensferry.
I thought it was maybe Broughty Ferry or
No, that
Dundee.
angle. No, that's from Weehawken, New Jersey,
Wow.
which is where Alexander Hamilton was shot by Burr.
Wait, who?
It was Aaron Burr.
You've got me here. This is one of
Yeah,
your facts coming again.
American president thing.
Wow.
1804.
You really should get out. You should get out a bit more sometimes.
You just googled that there now.
No, actually, I knew that. I did check it, but no, I did know that anyway.
I love the way I love the way the kids photobombed there.
I know.
Right the front.
Huh?
Brilliant.
Where were we?
What's that first tune? The Crags of Tumbledown Mountain, was it?
No, Craig Sterling.
Okay.
Because
I know as Ludo put the first tune as the Crags of Tumbledown Mountain. There's maybe a debate.
No, it's...
Anyway.
Somebody would try to rob the silver off the drones if that was Dundee.
Yeah, he'd come out and yeah, the drones would be sitting up in bricks, eh?
Yeah. So where were we? Don't know. Lost train of thought. As you mentioned earlier, you've got this big Reed launch a week on Tuesday at Piping Live.
Mm-hmm.
Ali Hutton, well, he has to play because he's one half of the duo. Ross Ainsley
getting made do that.
Yeah, Ross Ainsley has to do it because Ali Hutton tells him to do it, and then you've got Ali Levac, who just wants to do it because he plays a set of Marr pipes as well.
He does. He plays a set of Marr pipes. He got them around about a year ago, I think. Now, and he's also playing MH Reeds. We recently he's been doing some videos of him playing recently, which are all on our social media pages as well. So he seems very happy with them and getting the sound that he's after on them as well. So
great. Well, there's some top quality guys out there playing your products, so that's pretty amazing.
The one thing that you folk will notice as well is you do make plastic bagpipes as well.
Yes.
For the travelling piper or for temperature issues.
They're great for like you say, temperature issues. The travelling piper, the gig player that they can be thrown in and out the back of a lorry or played on stage, thrown about, and they won't get damaged as such. Not like Blackwood anyway, obviously. So they're great. I'd put off actually making plastic sexy pipes because I always thought that maybe they wouldn't be the greatest. And then when we put a set together, I was actually very, very surprised on the tone of them and how stable they were.
Okay, right. I was just going to say because that does sound like a great thing. Because I mean, how many times have you heard of a bass drone pin been snapped or something like that because it was just dropped on a stage by mistake or something?
The thing is, Peter, if that ever happens, I know a guy that can fix it.
Aye, no, but it depends a bit. If your gig's in Dhaka in Bangladesh or something like that, and it happens that night, there's not much you can do about it, probably.
Well, I've seen it on a field. In fact, I've seen it not at the last major. Someone's bass drum getting snapped in two as they turned round to cheer. So it can happen very easily.
It can happen incredibly easy. And a bad thing that used to happen way back in the olden days, mind everybody used to lie the bass drum there, and everybody used to put their pipes on top of it in a heap, and then go away to the ice cream van or something. And that was real danger territory for somebody snapping something somewhere. You know, it was really.
Is that not what bass drum is for?
Well, maybe. I thought it was a trampoline kind of thing, but.
So we've got a guy here who you mentioned, a guy called David Ogilvie, playing a set of the plastic pipes.
Oh, great! We're going to hear the plastic pipes. This is interesting.
He was He's a pipe major of Shots at one point.
He was, yes. He was also
He-
pipe major as with Inkerlick Pipe Band as well, many moons ago.
He was
So
also. Sorry.
I class David Ogilvie as a bit of a mentor. Anytime I've got piping related stuff that I need help with or anything like that, Davey is usually one of my first go-to guys. He's quite a very knowledgeable person, good player, and generally a good guy as well.
Cool.
And he also makes a fine kilt.
He does as well.
Let's have a listen.
Wow, they sound pretty amazing, actually. I wasn't expecting that zinc out of them, to be honest, at all.
David Ogilvie coming in 3 directions there.
Yeah.
One David Ogilvie's enough.
Well, he was pipe major of Chivas Regal at one point in time, so if you drunk enough Chivas Regal, there would be 3 of them. They sound great, though. They sound really good.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the most things that we're getting back on our pipes, at the stability of them. Once they're locked in, they're stable and just kind of sit there.
Wow.
Is there anything that you're wanting to do going forward? Any kind of projects or that you want to do, but just can't find the time? Also, with the kind of the bags, the reeds, the pipes, the refurbishments. Is there anything you would love to do?
What,
There's
like
probably quite a lot.
like bungee jumping or something?
There's probably quite a lot that I'd like to do, but I'm already stretched out 7 days a week here, most of the time working, or I'm never out of this workshop. My wife actually says that I'd probably sleep in here if I could. There's a few other projects that we'd certainly like to get working on, but until we find the time, they'll be on the back burner at the moment.
There's a comment for you there, Derek.
Hold on a second. Read that. Oh, that would have been me that maybe left my pipes on the ground.
Hope it was a set of the plastic ones.
Yeah, I did leave my pipes on the ground for a while. To be fair, Fergus actually looked after my pipes last night as well and dropped them off today.
Do you want to tell that story?
Well, we were struggling to get a taxi. We got dropped off in Bathgate last night on Mackenzie Caledonia's bus, and I just couldn't get a taxi. There was no one was answering, so I said I'll just walk home. It's maybe 3-4 miles, something like that. So as I started walking home, there must have been a couple of ladies that felt sorry for me walking along the side of the road in my kilt and picked me up and took me home.
To Derek's house.
My wife's not listening.
Yeah.
But no, it's amazing the camaraderie, because like you said, you got left from the Mackenzie bus. The Mackenzie bus is from Dundee up my way.
Yeah.
They picked up some players in Bathgate because they've got a very, very much a split band in Mackenzie. There's players from West Lothian in the band, and we're happy to give Derek a lift there and back, because otherwise you have to drive to Denny, and then it means you couldn't partake in a refreshment.
Which I only had a couple anyway, to be fair.
It wasn't very
Too
nice
many.
though, on the way to the competition that they tried to drop him off in Port Glasgow, but never mind.
One less thing to worry about.
That's it.
So the bags, as you mentioned, you've got the smaller collars for session pipes and for small pipes. So what's the sort of timescale on them? Do you think you're looking at by the end of the year? You're going to have them sorted out?
We should actually have we've got the first prototypes done up, almost finished, of the different size collars. So like you mentioned, you've got weir collars for the bellows connection, the weir collars for the half-size pipes, and then you have the bigger collar itself for the common stock. So we're actually hoping within maybe the next...
He's frozen. What are the chances of that?
Oh, and it's not me for a change.
No, it's not. It's Derek. He's frozen.
Why don't we play a wee video? Because we've got a couple
Yep.
of videos.
We do. Let's have a video from one of our previous guests, Mr. Chris Waite. He's playing a set of Mopani Marr pipes.
What does that mean?
You'll see by the colour. Different wood.
So is that the type of wood?
Yeah, it's Mopani with blackwood mounts and ferrules. Let's take that.
Where does Mopani wood come from then?
When did your last slave die off? Mopani wood. Mopani wood comes from African as well. So yeah, probably the same sort of area. It's a hardwood from southern Africa. So it's southern Africa's heaviest wood in a reddish colour. So
Okay.
let's have a listen. There's a mellower sound. Here we go.
Yeah, fantastic. Great looking pipes.
I'm back.
I see that.
You went for a coffee, didn't you?
We saw you outside. I thought he's away for a kebab.
So
I lost signal, so I can come in.
That's all right.
That's all right.
So I was saying to Peter that's a set of Mopani pipes with Blackwood mounts and ferrules at Chris is playing.
They're nice. I think I've got the last bit you saying that it's a wee bit more of a mellower sound.
Mm.
And it is, the Mopani sets are nice, and I think a lot more folks are starting to get used to different colours of woods, and it's almost like a set of pipes had to be black, and that was it.
What colour is that wood then, the Mopani? Is it a kind of...
So it's more like an orangey sort of colour.
Orangey colour. And then I saw somebody had a set of pipe, they were a kind of reddy colour, a set I saw somewhere as well. I don't know what they were.
Yeah, nice red tinge to them.
Do you find that, back to the pipe making, that's really interesting, is there a particular wood you like working with best, or?
I mean, I like working with all different types of wood, but I certainly do like working. I like making the boxwood mounts. We've done quite a lot of the boxwood recently.
Right.
It's just such a nice wood to cut and turn, and you get a nice polish on it as well.
Okay, so see when you get other wood, etc., do you have to import most of that, or?
There's most of the big companies that supply wood, the bigger companies. That's all the importing is done from them, and there's UK-based companies, most of them down in England, that you get your wood supplies from.
So is this a case as well then, Derek, that you'll go along and actually look at that wood and think, I can use that bit? Or...
No, you'll get it shipped up to you, and sometimes you can get to a point where you've got a bit of wood, you've roughed it, poured it, you've taken it right down, you're doing your last bits, and then you find a wee flaw in it, and unfortunately you can't use it.
Really?
You could look at a bit of wood from the outside, it might look flawless, but when you start getting down into the wood, there could be a wee bit in the middle here.
So potentially then there can be quite a bit of wastage as well then to get the perfection.
You already got a lot of wastage when you start off with ability wood anyway, but you can get a lot more wastage with just having wee holes or wee fillers or stuff like that in the wood that you can't use.
Really interesting, because I bet a lot of people don't realise that when they're thinking, oh, that's the price of a set of pipes or something like that. They don't realise how, the amount you might have to buy before you get the exact bits you're needing, kind of style.
Yeah, and if you spend hours on a bit of wood and then the last bit you can't use it, that's just so many hours wasted as well, along with material costs.
Yeah, I doubt that bits would be getting thrown out my shed window at a rapid rate of not.
That's happened.
Yeah, must be annoying that. Yeah.
We did mention earlier on that you've got pipes being played along with other instruments, and I think we should just kind of tie up the whole kind of thing there. With Ali Levac, he's playing with guitars and barans. Ross Ainsley the same, he's playing with guitar. Actually, Ross set up in pipe band pitch, isn't he? His set.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
And Ali Hutton's playing along with guitars and fiddles. Do you think that the mellow sound of the pipes and this kind of the style of the Marr pipes suits playing with other instruments as well as playing in the band environment?
I think it is. The whole design behind the pipes is you can just use your standard products to get into that flatter pitch rather than using extenders and reeds and everything else. So you can get both pitches from the pipes without. We just use them standard modern day reeds rather than using any other products to get it to that. So it does suit both of them pretty well.
There's Big Rab saying hello there.
Hi, Rab.
Rab, we'll see you on Thursday the 11th.
Good coverage again yesterday, Rab, at the Scottish. Enjoyed it.
I was for the grade 3. I was standing next to Deej. He was doing the videos.
I don't know. They didn't broadcast the results last night because he said they were getting a really poor signal or something like that.
Yeah, if you were up by the buses, the signal was fine. But when you went down to the arena, it was awful. I couldn't get a video. I was trying to send Derek a video of Denny. I couldn't get it sent. So yeah, it was.
That's Rob saying he can't wait, Davey. I'm quite jealous, guys. I'm back at work by that time and can't come down.
Shame. Because did I mention that on the Thursday 11th of August at Piping Live, there's a book launch at 11 o'clock?
Was there? Right.
There is, yeah.
Derek's
and
got a read launch. Well, not a read launch, but he's doing a show, and then you've got a book launch.
yeah, I can't make the read launch. However, I think me and Derek are going to have lunch on the 11th.
Oh, man.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's not his worst.
No. That's Ali saying he wishes he was going. Oh, yes, I forgot. We should really mention that on the Wednesday, the Big Rab Show is live from Piping Live.
Woohoo!
Sorry, Rab, I forgot to mention it. Sorry. I'll mention it next week.
Excellent, Rab. Yeah, watch out
yeah.
for that, folks. That'll be great.
Yes, that would be really good. And Ali was supposed to be going with us, but he can't read a calendar properly. And he's already double booked. Anyway.
Ali, pal, it's all right. You and I will get together and go to some someday.
The thing is, he's in Aberdeen. He's probably closer to you than I am. So, yeah. Derek, it's been an hour and a half already.
It's been fantastic. It's been one of the most entertaining shows. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I've learned a lot about piping and pipe making that I didn't realise just quite. That thing at the end there about finding a flaw in a bit of wood, I never thought of that in my life.
Yep.
If folk are looking for more information on the company, the products, and getting work done, the best place, of course, is your website, which is buypipereefers.com. If they're interested in reeds, they can go to buypipereefers.com/reeds, and that'll take them straight to the product. And as we mentioned earlier, if they're interested in seeing the before and after photos, there we go. The Facebook page is the best place to go. The number of kind of comments your photos get is unbelievable.
I think when folks see some of the transformations that they don't think it's the same set of pipes.
Yeah.
You know, when you see something that's such old and tatty looking to a nice looking set of pipes. Then
I'm gonna have to order some reeds because I want one of the wee tinnies.
You get a free one if you order 4.
No, but I'll really promote it and see if it survives in Shetland. We're really made because boy, there's moisture up here. That's for sure.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. The key thing about your refurbs is that it's not all smoke and mirrors. And some folk have described it as, and excuse me for those that have a nervous disposition, some folk have described it as bagpipe porn. Sometimes when you see the before and after photos.
Yeah, I've seen some of the comments as well. Obviously that's what they like.
I think that would possibly make me a wee bit nervous.
Well, exactly. But yeah, same again, Derek. Thank you very much for joining us, and I will be due you that pint on the Thursday.
I won't be drinking on the Thursday. I'll be dedicated band practice Thursday night.
Yeah.
Okay, it'll have to be a pint of tea or something like that then, because that's all you're getting out of me. Good luck at the launch on the Tuesday. I'm sure it'll be cracking, and hopefully there'll be some videos kicking about after that. Good luck at the Worlds with the mighty Denny and Nunavase at Grade 3A, where you'll be performing that MSR again.
With Lord Alexander, which is one of my favourite tunes. I love these big 6-parters. They're just great.
I think they're underplayed, Peter, don't you?
Trust me to say that at the beginning of the night. Right, okay.
But no, Derek, it's been great having you. And we're going to finish off with Mr. Levac and Pablo Lafuente playing a set of Marr bagpipes. This is Ali's own set, if I remember rightly. And they are boxwood mounts?
Boxwood mounts on the ones.
Yeah. So, Derek, we'll see you again. Thank you very
much for having us on.
Derek, best of health. It's been an absolute pleasure. One of my favourite shows. Great. Thanks very much.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
I'm Pablo. Was that an
No.
advert?
I don't know what that was. But listen, that was a fantastic show. I really, really enjoyed it. What a nice bloke, nice guy.
Yes.
Very, very good. Really
Very
enjoyed it.
knowledgeable. If you've got a
Incredible.
vintage set, you don't know what they are, get in touch with Derek. He'll be able to find out.
Yeah. I must get my pipes down to him to have a look at because they're quite.
What you could do
entertaining.
is bring them down with you in October,
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, and we could get
and
into them.
we'll get them to Derek, and you can then shut them back up.
That'd be good. Superb show. Really enjoyed that. Some great playing tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed that tonight. Nice to see so many folk joining us from all over the place, and nice to see Sam Young at the beginning of the show joining us as well. Not in Australia, but in Scotland for a change.
No, I think Sam's jet lag must have kicked in because he must have fell asleep.
You never know. He's maybe out
No, that's
somewhere.
true.
Sneaked out for a dram somewhere. He'll be here for the Worlds now. He'll be here for
Yes.
the duration. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. So,
Hope to bump into him at the Argyle's launch on the 11th of August at Piping Live.
absolutely. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed that show tonight. We've got two.
No,
we've-
he's still
we've
here. He's still here.
We've
He's
actually,
still here.
there he is. He's still there. Thanks, Sam, for joining in. It makes a lot to us, these guys like yourselves coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ali Meek. We always like it when Ali Meek joins in. But
Do you know what? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you know what's really funny? Is that if I turn up the sound in my house
yeah,
and Ali opens his double doors, he could probably hear it live from here. He's that close to me now.
is he really? All right, okay.
Yeah, literally 5 minutes up the road.
Well, he might at least come in with a cup of tea for you or something then. What are you?
I think the front door's locked.
Great fun. Listen, next week we've got, thanks, Sam. Thanks for that. We've got 3 guests on next week, which is going to be great fun. 2
Which
of them
makes
are
up for the one today.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, but you know, one's quality too. If we get one that's quality, I think that's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've got a chap called Bob Liddell on next week. Bob is down in the borders of Scotland. He's a 5-row accordion player, and he also plays the pipe. So
okay.
I think Bob plays with Kelso Pipe Band or somebody. But we shall speak to him when he comes on about that. But he's very well known for playing the box, but a multi-instrumentalist. So I'm looking forward to that. And we have Stephen Quigg and Pernelia, his wife, on. Stephen was a member, I knew him very many years as a folk singer, solo folk singer, but he was also a member of the McCalmans, the folk group. And then he married this Danish girl, Pernelia, and they are actually going to do the show from Denmark because they're over at their holiday house in Denmark. So next week, that's what we're going for. Bob Liddell and Stephen and Pernelia Quigg. And it's going to be great. Actually, Stephen was at Keith Festival as well, and they've done a fantastic show, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Brilliant.
And Bob's been in touch already. He's very looking forward to it, so it's good.
Good.
So that's next week taken care of next Sunday night, folks. And we'll see you then. My summer holidays is running out. My whole 6 weeks is down to 2 now.
2 weeks. What? So you got next week, the week after?
Yeah, still got that left.
Oh, it's just you're off the Piping Live week.
I know, but it's getting back in time for school and starting again and things. And
No.
we'll see what happens.
If you really wanted to, Peter, you'd be there.
I might kidnap myself and take myself away.
Oh dear, I have kidnapped myself and I am held myself ransom.
I am now in Glasgow Airport. Oh no!
Yeah, it's getting to that point.
I actually spoke to somebody the other night. Sonny, my stepson, one of his friends. See the Shetland boat? Twice a week it goes via Orkney. So it goes from Shetland to Orkney and then to Aberdeen, rather than direct from Shetland to Aberdeen. And his friend had went on the other night and had 1 or 2 shandies too many. He was supposed to get off at Orkney, but he woke up in Aberdeen.
Oh well.
Missed Orkney altogether. So never mind. That's how it goes. Anyway, that's about us for tonight. That's been a great wee show. And remember, watch out for all the Piping Live stuff coming up, including their Giles launch.
Big Grab Live.
Big Grab Live. and Derek Marr with the reads as well.
Oh, I forgot to mention, the Argyle's launch is being live streamed by Piping Live.
Oh, fantastic.
So if you can't make it, you can see it all.
Yeah, oh, we'll be watching that then. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tonight. Wherever you are, take care. Enjoy the rest of your holidays or whatever it is you're doing. And we'll see you soon.
Ciao.
Cheers. Cheers.